Come have fun with us and don't forget to subscribe.
What's up everybody, I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And welcome to our review of Naruto Shippuden episode 223 to 242.
Fillers.
Yes, Anna, because as we've been doing throughout our Naruto journey, when we come to fillers, we watch them separately, together. Not separately, separately from the people. We don't react to them.
Right.
We watch them by ourselves, and then we do a review of all of them. Because let's not forget, our goal is to watch all of Naruto. That includes the fillers. Sometimes to our happy surprise, because there are some fillers that were interesting, and sometimes not so much. We'll see which one this one falls off. Also, a reminder, I've seen Naruto before, you hadn't. But, caveat, up until now, I'd seen all the fillers. I'd never seen these.
Oh, you had never watched these fillers?
These fillers I'd never seen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I was brand new. So the fillers we're talking about is the ones from the Paradise Life on a Boat filler arc. Which, like I said earlier, was from episode 223 to 242, right after the whole 5 Kage things. So it deals mainly with Naruto and his team on their journey to the Land of Lightning by sea in order to hide him from Akatsuki. But also has some character development for some of the Konoha 11 ninja, and also...
Well, sometimes development, sometimes it's whatever is the opposite of development.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. Well, let's start this conversation by asking you the question I always ask, which is, did you like those fillers, those episodes, that arc?
Some of them, yes. Some of them, not so much. I don't know.
So let's split a bit. Maybe we won't go in detail with each episode, because it was mostly like one episode, one storyline type of thing. But I'll ask you more generally, or I guess more specific, in the sense that which one did you like, and an example of one that you liked, and an example of one that you didn't like.
So one that I liked, for example, the one about Sai.
Sai's days off.
Yeah. It's mostly flashbacks, I think, but I don't know, I kind of like it. I feel like they could have worked more on the character, because unlike other episodes that focus on other characters, like other kids from the village, this one actually was heading in the good direction. It wasn't out of character. And that takes me to the ones that I didn't like, and it's those that focused on some other characters, but that were so unlike themselves. It was not... like, for example, the one about Kiba.
Oh, okay, yeah. Kiba's determination.
That one I feel, yeah, exactly. I feel like that one was definitely is in the bottom ones for me, because that's not Kiba.
Yeah,
that's not his attitude.
So in that episode, Kiba is pissed off and bitter that Naruto is the hero of the village.
Right.
Which, you can't. It's hard to stand behind someone with an attitude like that, right?
Exactly.
He just saved all of you, and you're upset.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that, but also, for example, the one about Shino, where it's not as bitter, but it's out of character, in which Shino is he's very down and
he got defeated pretty easily, and then he lacked confidence and wants to quit the team.
Yes, and that's not him. First of all, I feel like Shino is one of the characters who is very much aware of people's, his own and other people's strengths and weaknesses, and he would acknowledge and accept that you can't be good at everything.
Yeah, he has some blind spot, but he's good at other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, the way we've seen Shino throughout the show, he's been pretty confident.
He's very confident, yeah, exactly. So it's so out of character. I don't like those that change the character so much. And then there were some of the episodes that were more action focused.
Yeah.
Which some of them were nice. The one with the ghost ship, I like that one. It was
that was a fun little distraction, and I feel a lot of these, that's what they are, because they're one episode storylines, right? We're in, we're out. It's Naruto and the others on a boat, and then they stop on an island or they're on the water and something happens, and by the end of the episode that thing is resolved.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then next episode we move on to something else, or it's focusing on one of the Konoha kid. So even when there's one that you don't like as much, it doesn't like overstay its welcome, because like I said, you're in, you're out, right? I appreciated the one with all the girls hanging out, the girls get together, just because, you know, a lot of these female characters tend to be on the, you know, more forgotten side often in the show. So it was nice to see them. And speaking of which, I also like the one that was focused solely on Tenten.
Yeah.
Because Tenten, I was thinking about it, it's probably
one of the characters that is like the least talked about, least developed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see an episode that was just like about her,
Right.
and how she, you know, was a fan of Tsunade since she was a kid.
That was a nice story. It was a story that, you know, overall made sense. Like, it didn't contradict.
Yeah, which is always my thing with the fillers, is
Yeah.
whenever they contradict things, I start like, you know, scratching my head, and I'm like, no, why would you do that, you know?
But also when the power balance is so off, or like the way people use some of their jutsu.
Yeah, which often happens in fillers. You're like, oh no, you would never lose to that person or this person.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, even though I was saying you're in and out, and so it doesn't overstay its welcome, it's still like quite a good amount of episode, right? It's like 20 episodes or so. And so towards the end, you're starting to think like, I mean, can we get done with this, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Like, it would have been fun to have, you know, 5 to 10 maybe of these adventure on the sea and adventures with the Konoha 11. But, you know, episode 242, I was like, oh, okay, we're still here, you know. And in that sense, even though the number is way different, those made me feel the most like how I felt watching the filler from original Naruto, you know, the 100 or so episode of fillers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time they were like shorter storylines and then we move on to something else. And so it made me feel like that. As opposed to the fillers we got so far in Shippuden, which were a lot of like specific storylines.
Were more, they were longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like one storyline focused on Asuma or focused on the Six Tails, Jinchuriki or stuff like that, you know. But here we got a bunch of different things, including some return, right? We got that eternal Genin guy.
The old man.
Yeah.
He was fun. He's nice.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's a nice character.
I kind of like that they stay a little bit consistent with that. At least sometimes, you know, we see characters from like previous fillers coming back, because it feels more like this is actually like it's real, that is part of the world, you know, rather than, oh, I go somewhere, there are these characters there, and then you never see them again, you don't hear of them again, you know?
Yeah. One thing that filler often do also is that they cut the flow, right? To me, like one of the worst placed fillers in Shippuden was the one right before Nagato tells his story to Naruto, right? Because
oh yes, I remember.
We're going like on the momentum of this battle and all of this happening, and then fillers.
It was like a disruption.
Yeah, exactly. So here, how did you feel about that element of it? Because we were, you know, ramping up with the war preparation and the alliance thing. Did you feel like these fillers like kind of cut off the momentum?
No,
of
not
everything?
so much. If anything, I feel like they're pretty well placed here, you know, because Naruto, like the people are starting to prepare for war, but it's still like, it's not like the war is happening in the next episode, you know, it's just like preparations. Naruto is about to go on another training mission. He doesn't know that it's a training mission yet, but so it feels like this is the moment where in the anime, like in the storyline, there's a flip, right? Like a switch. Like we're moving from something to something else. That's where you have to place a filler.
Yeah. And also because of the fact that, you know, we're preparing for war, and during the fillers it's mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't feel so jarring. It feels like, oh no, we're still in the preparation. A lot of the characters talk about like, oh, war is coming,
right.
And which is why we must do these things and that thing, and that brings the storyline for the one episode, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, it does feel like it was well placed. So, yeah, it wasn't like a big momentum disruption, but we're still thinking of the future, Anna.
Yes.
And so before we leave this video, what do you think we're gonna get into next?
I mean, I guess Naruto will get to his destination pretty quickly, unlike in the fillers, which take like so long. But yeah, I'm actually mostly curious about that because I want to see what this training, because I mean, Tsunade was also planning for him to meet with Killer Bee and you know, have him help Naruto control the nine-tail fox, right? Because that's like Killer Bee managed to control his tail beast. So I'm guessing that's also gonna happen in the same place. Like they're gonna put them both there and be like, you're both hiding here and also take the time to train, because that would make sense, no?
Maybe.
But I'm curious to see that actually more so than anything. You know, I want to see how that will work. Like, first of all, the interaction between Killer Bee and Naruto, who are in many ways I feel so similar. You know, so I think that will be interesting. But also, like, I feel like this will be a major jump in Naruto's, you know, power growth, if anything. Like, if he can control the tail beast, even to a certain extent, I feel like it will give him a lot of
Power
power.
boost.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm mostly curious about. And then I'm guessing, you know, the thing with the war preparations will move on. I don't think it will happen too soon. I feel like there's still, you know, we're still gonna see some other events, even if like small events happening before the war actually, like, you know, like begins. Yes, exactly. So I don't think it will be too soon. So I think we're still in like the preparation phase.
Okay, well, we shall see. So I guess there is some excitement for the future. But as for these fillers, last words on it, you had fun, or you would tell people to pass?
No, you know, I had fun. I wouldn't say to pass them. I would say, you know, you're probably not gonna enjoy all of them, or you're gonna find issues with some of them. But overall, you know, they're fun, they're chill. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice break. I do wish, like I said earlier, that there were less of them. Maybe 10 would have been probably, to me, the perfect number. But, you know, we got what we got. And you always want to think about that. Like, do I regret watching that? I don't regret watching them. You know, there were some pretty funny ones. There were some that I really liked. I enjoyed seeing, you know, young Kakashi and young Guy rivalry, you know, being started and all of that. So there are some pretty fun stuff over there. So I would also recommend people to, you know, check it out if you are the type of person who would watch filler. I know a lot of people will just skip over fillers, which there's nothing wrong with either. But yeah, first fillers that I haven't watched, and that's gonna happen more and more because from now on I have not watched any of the fillers.
Oh, okay. So there's something new for you now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for that, but I know you're excited for the canon stuff that's going to happen.
Yes.
Which I do know about. And if you guys want to see her reaction to those, we invite you to
subscribe to this channel. The button is down below.
Like this video if you did. Comment in the comment section below, and have a nice day.